Today, we're looking at art.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Matt and Stu Review, where we're taking a look at your favorite toys from yesterday and today. Stuart, what do we have on the table?
So today we have a selection of diorama pieces made by a maker called GRIME City.
Right.
These are some of my favorite accessories that I've got. One of the first artists that I found kind of in the action figure photography diorama space.
Okay.
And obviously I've been a big fan.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. I've seen these things around the shop a bunch, and they're pretty cool looking stuff. So let's jump right in.
So GRIME City is the nom de guerre of Taymin Kane, who is an artist in Ontario, London, Canada. All of these are international items. I don't know if they're subject to tariffs these days or what. I purchased them all, I'd say, in the last 3 years from Taymin. And over on your side of the table, I thought we'd start taking a look at some of the larger pieces that he's done and some of the pieces that incorporate wiring and electronics in them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I see the lamppost here has some lights going on, and then the bus stop here has some lights, and the phone booth too.
The phone booth has lights. They're out right now. I need to replace the battery in the phone booth, but everything else should be flickering. You can see, for the most part, his medium of his work is 3D printing. So, he must be doing some CAD design and 3D printing all of these pieces, then coming back in with paint pens, even making little stickers and things to really add to the authenticity of the pieces.
Yeah, the details are really cool that way.
They're amazing. When I first discovered him, I was kind of over the moon. I was so impressed with the stuff that he does. And as we've discussed on the channel before, neither you or I are very good at tagging or graffiti. So it's tough to make convincing looking urban scenes without those skills.
Yeah.
And I feel like GRIME City really upped my, action figure photography game.
It's super cool. This one is especially tagged up and stuff like that. And it gives it so much more context and more realism. They're very cool. And I like that he has GRIME City built into some of the pieces and parts.
Absolutely.
That's, like Gotham City, but it's GRIME City kind of a thing.
Yeah, he also does references to kind of nerdy properties in some of the things. So if you notice, the bus stop has a ad for Spider-Man 2 on the side. It also has a Daily Bugle front page in there.
Oh, yeah.
Doc Ock still at large. So
there you go. And
quite the Spider-Man universe we're in here.
And a little vegetable ad too, just for some context.
Vince's must be a Canadian grocery store, huh?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's a good point. That makes sense. Yeah.
So those are some of the bigger things. I also have one piece of kind of interior furniture stuff that I've done from him. Mostly I've bought his exterior kind of alleyway accoutrements. I did buy this one kind of dumpy couch, which I thought would be cool to use for, interior scenes.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can tell he's really skilled with the airbrush as far as the weathering on the different things go. So I've also
painted up 100% just as is. Ready
most
to go.
of these came fully painted. I have bought some pieces from him unpainted, including this post office box.
Okay.
And these, I have a ton of his milk crates. And I painted some in the Ninja Turtle colors. I painted some in sort of standard milk crate colors. These are awesome to just throw, I've got some wires in this one to throw in the background of your scene.
Yeah.
And they all are also GRIME City labeled,
which
is pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. And a great little milk crate.
That's absolutely. Awesome. Yeah, so those came unpainted, and I painted them myself. Everything else that I have from him came painted, including, we've got little boxes. We've got kind of a rundown set of washer and dryer here, which I just thought were really cool. I actually pre-ordered those from him.
Yeah.
Got this NYC...
it's got someone's moo-moo.
Yeah, laundry. Got the NYC, what are these?
Fire
hydrant?
Yep.
So I actually painted that as well. That came unpainted.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that looks really good.
And then I've been using his doors in a lot of my own kind of urban dioramas. So I found that his doors and then my next iteration of walls are really going well together. He's also does these electrical boxes for your alley, which are pretty cool. He's got another trash can in here.
Yeah, that's
just
sweet.
Something about, little things impeccably made is always cool. And then when you're incorporating them into a practice like action figure photography, it's really, really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're really cool pieces and parts. What scale would you say these are?
So these are 1/12 scale.
Okay.
But he also does make a lot of accessories in the 1/18 scale. Okay. So that's one step smaller. A lot of Japanese figures and like import figures come in that 1/18 scale, and there are a lot of adherents to that scale. It's kind of the scale of the original Star Wars figures.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that's where that may have started.
Okay, that makes sense. Sure. Pretty cool though. I mean, lots of cool pieces and parts. I love all the tiny little like extra pieces you can throw into a scene. Really fills it out, gives it a lot of detail.
I have one of his, he does a lot of sci-fi stuff. He actually, I think, has a whole diorama setup of like a sci-fi city of his
Oh, okay.
own. So he focuses on some sci-fi stuff. I do have one piece of sci-fi terrain from him, or
Mm-hmm.
prop from him, that sci-fi door,
Cool.
which I think is.
Yeah, this one looks like it's cast in resin. So I wonder if it's like he builds them originally in one way and then casts them after that. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I had assumed that everything was done on
On an
SLA
printer.
printer,
I guess that's
but
true. Maybe it is SLA. I
you
just don't see any layer lines in them. It's really clean.
I've been printing more recently with the FDM printer here in the shop, and the layer lines on those prints are definitely apparent. So
Yeah.
whatever process he's using is definitely smoother than mine. I actually have to shout out Taymin too. He's just like a really nice guy. We've actually become internet friends,
Okay.
kind of through the action figure photography and me building my dioramas and hyping each other up. He actually recently sent me a video tutorial on how to actually approach doing tags, so he's even trying to help me on that front.
Yeah. How's that going?
Not great. Before we move on to rating and choosing our favorite of these, there was one more piece of Grime City that I wanted to point out. This urinal. This also came unpainted.
Oh, okay.
Just a little urinal sitting there, and I had no idea what to do with it. I was like, do I make a full bathroom diorama, including a urinal?
Yep.
I opted to make it part of some rubble. So I figure, some kind of facility got smashed, there was a toilet in there, it stayed attached to that piece of concrete, and I painted it up, made it really as dirty and junky as I could make it look.
It's a pretty dirty, gross looking urinal. Yeah.
Yeah, I just love it. There's something about the mundane that is so funny when you make it a miniature. So Matt, what's your favorite of the Grime City selection we have here?
I think my favorite pieces are his doors. They just add such cool detail to something. You can throw them into just about any scene, anywhere. Like when he had put some in the alleyways, it's like, okay, now it's really an alley. There's a door, you're coming out of it, the level of detail, everything like that, and then just the scale, because they work really well with the figures. Those are my favorites for sure.
Yeah, I like the doors a lot. They're one of the only ones that I've actually permanently installed in one of my dioramas too. So kind of like my main little alleyway that I have on my desk at home has a Grime City door installed on it. I have to say my favorite is probably the little loose phone booths or pay phones.
Okay.
For the same reason, basically, you take a little alleyway or like a brick diorama, you stick this on the wall, and all of a sudden it just becomes real. It's more like a real place. It's more like, the real world.
Yeah, I think things on the walls are just breaking up that vertical surface really does a lot for something. It doesn't look like it's just set in the scene. It's like part of the world.
Absolutely. And I like his small, his small pieces for just setting them in the scene.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so this is sort of like that plus.
Yeah, I think it hanging on the wall, it's a little extra. So Stuart, if somebody wanted to pick up a piece for their own dioramas at home, how would they get something from Grime City?
So Grime City's main storefront is on Etsy.
Okay.
And he actually provided us in the video here with a coupon code. So we'll have to either put that on screen or we'll put it in the description below. But he generously did offer a discount to our watchers.
Sweet. All right. Well, yeah, use that code and support a fellow artist. And hey, everybody, we want to hear from you. What would be your dream prop that Grime City could make that you could add to your figure collection or your dioramas at home?
And thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Grime City by Taymin Kane.
And if you are into action figures and reviews like these, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.